This is the MG Windsor, and MG calls it a crossover utility vehicle. I'll get to the shape and other details later, but why you should be interested in one is one, that it's all electric, and two, because prices start at 9.99 lakh rupees. Over this video, I'll tell you all that you need to know about this very interesting new model. Now, MG isn't calling this an SUV because it isn't. I'd call the shape like a quasi hatchback, more MPV-like. So the front section is really short. It's split into two sections. You get full width DRLs on top. The main headlights are lower down. There's enough chrome to make this look like a fairly expensive vehicle. Now, the shape that I was telling you about is more MPV-ish, and that is most clear on the side. Now, this one runs on 18-inch rims. They look quite smart. You have your charging port right up here. Pop-out door handles, which is a nice touch. I'll have to see how they are in real-world usage. It's got a very nice and big glass house, so I'm expecting it to be quite roomy and airy on the inside. Again, at the back, if you could just come here, you have the tail lamps that start very prominent LED detailing, and it runs across the width of the tail section. It's quite rounded here, and it is what I'd call a very interesting addition to our roads. Not an SUV, so please don't keep that in mind even if you hear that utility vehicle in the marketing from MG's side. Boot space is rated at 604 liters, so you get a pretty wide and nice sized luggage compartment. You can also split and fold the seats to make up more luggage area, and there's also some storage under the boot floor. On the inside, the MG Windsor feels really new age. You get this 15.6-inch touchscreen. It is your go-to control for almost all settings. It's really large. It's almost the size of a laptop screen, so it will take some getting used to. It is quite in your face, I will have to say that. You do get physical controls for the air conditioning system. There's single zone auto climate control here, so you get your blower settings and temperature controls here. You get cup holders down here. There's a lot of storage space over here. There's USB charging sockets, a wireless charger over here, even more space in between. So this is a really well thought out and very nicely designed cabin, big on practicality. Glove box here, another cup holder up here, and even in terms of quality, it is quite impressive. I really like the finish of the seats. They're really well padded. This fish scale effect looks unusual, but I must tell you that the seats are really comfortable. I also like this faux wood finish. It is quite convincing. There are hard plastics lower down, but I think for this price point, it is more than acceptable. Other tech features include digital dials up front, and you get a familiar steering. It's borrowed from the Comet, but gets a different tone here. Other features of note include ambient lighting. And of course, topping off that list of features is a massive glass roof. It doesn't open. All you get is this curtain that rolls all the way back. It makes the cabin feel really airy. The screen is packed with goodies. You get a 360-degree camera right over here. It's pretty high res. There's connected tech, so you can keep in touch with your car remotely, and it has got the works with Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, you name it, it's on the screen. Again, I think the size might take some getting used to because it is really large and in your face. The Windsor is built on a long 2.7 meter wheelbase, and you get the benefit of that when you're sat at the back. As you can tell, there is a lot of space to the front seat. I'm just under 6 feet tall. The front seat is set to a position that I'd be comfortable in, and I'm really well catered to on legroom. Headroom for someone of my height is just about adequate. Anyone taller will have an issue with headroom. Space for three is also more than adequate, and what helps that experience is this absolutely flat floor. Now, as for seat comfort, it's really good. The seat is very well padded. It's got this interesting fish-inspired design, very nicely cushioned, and what will perhaps makes the biggest difference is the seat recline. 135 degrees. Check this out. Whoa. So you can really slouch back and relax. And I think this will be one of the biggest selling points on the Windsor. Now, talking of the specifications of interest, the MG Windsor uses a single electric motor that powers the front wheels. It makes 136 horsepower. The battery is a 38 kilowatt hour unit, and that has a range of 331 kilometers. Now, that's a claimed range figure. We'll have to see what it actually works out to in the real world. Now, what's made that 9.99 lakh rupee price possible? Well, MG is charging 9.99 lakh rupees for the car, but the battery comes separately, sold under a concept called battery as a service. So MG will charge you about 3.5 rupees per kilometer of usage for the battery. Over and above that, you'll have to also pay for the charging. But if you do the maths, it does work out a whole lot cheaper than going for a combustion engine car. What makes the deal sweeter is that MG is assuring a 60% buyback value in 3 years. So it makes a whole lot of sense if you look at it exclusively from a financial point of view. We'll have to see what the product is like to drive, what it's like to live with, which we'll get to in our first drive review, which goes up in the coming few days. But on first count, this is a very, very interesting product, and who knows, it could just shake up the EV industry.